Just saying, preparing to live stream this meeting. Setting up your meeting for customer streaming service. Okay, meeting is now live streaming on customer live streaming service. Hello everyone, my name is Graham Hoover from Tri Coaching Partnership. My interview today is with Richard Spiers, one of Tri Coaching Partnership's trainers. But before I start today, it comes with a warning. Amazon have told me that they have a delivery for me between 4 p.m. and 6 p.m. And it's a Hoover. Well, it's not a Hoover, it's a vacuum, isn't it? Hoover's a mate. Anyway, it's a vacuum cleaner. So I can't wait. So if my doorbell goes, I shall be rushing off into the distance, leaving you with Richard just to talk to you. And then I'll come back with my Hoover. Well, no. I shall come back. So, Richard, just sorry about this, just to pre-warn. Pre-warn is pre-done. Let's kick this interview off. Tell me about yourself.
Hi everyone, my name is Richard Spiers. I've been an ADI for about 14 years, been fleet qualified for about 13 years, ORDIT qualified for about 6 years. I'm also a Tri Coaching trainer. I've got various other qualifications like ROSPA, Advanced Test in Gold, and Tri Coaching Speed Tech Level 4 in coaching for driver behaviour, amongst other things.
Okay, all right, well, that's cool. So that's a little bit about yourself in terms of your work and your qualifications, which are all good. Tell me a little bit about yourself outside work.
Well, I've got various hobbies. I like to keep fit. I suppose that's probably my other sort of thing I do out of work more so. So, I mean, I'm lucky enough to live in a lovely place called Brecon in mid Wales. With the Brecon Beacons, where we've got some lovely walks and runs and things like that. So we've got the perfect backdrop really for outdoor fitness. I've got a dog which I go out dog walking a lot and it keeps me fit. I like the gym. I love football, big football fan. Big Liverpool supporter. Up the Reds. But yeah, I mean, that's about it really, actually, apart from work.
Okay. I was watching an interview between John Terry and Jamie Carragher, and they were talking about the great Chelsea versus Liverpool rivalry between the two of them. And I'm pleased to say that I think they met each other something, I don't know, it was around 30 plus times. And anyway, John Terry had won 13. It'd been 7 draws and Jamie Carragher had only won 7. So I was pleased when that was announced, being a blue, but there is some real some rivalry, especially when Rafa was there, and then he came to us. We never really settled for him as a manager, but yeah, the goal that never was and everything else. So that's interesting. So Liverpool supporter.
Yeah.
Go running in the Brecon Beacons, but there was something there that you didn't tell me enough about. You got a dog.
Yeah, I've got a dog. He's my fur baby. He's a beagle. His name's Max. He's 5 years old. He's a pampered pooch, basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, and also, I mean, I presume if you've got a dog, you've got some family to go with the dog.
Yeah, the dog comes first, though, obviously.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I'm married, happily married to Tanya. I've got a stepson, he's 14. I've got 4 nephews, all under the age of 6 and under. So they keep me busy. Yeah, my dad and mom live close by, so I can keep an eye on them, especially in these circumstances at the moment. Yeah, sister, brother-in-law, and all my in-laws as well. So yeah, quite a good close-knit family. Which is
okay,
good.
cool. Cool. So that's giving us a little bit more background about you. I suppose a question I want to ask: what made you become a trainer? What drew you to becoming a trainer?
Well, like a lot of people, I suppose, who come into the profession, me being an instructor trainer, I meet a lot of people who decide to come into this profession. I myself was stuck in a dead-end job. I was looking for something else, really, something to get my teeth stuck into. So I decided to train to be a driving instructor because I like the sound of it, really. I mean, I'm a people person. I like getting out and about, and it really appealed to me. So I was living down in Cardiff at the time. I was just coming out of university and living down there, and saw an advert to train to be a driving instructor in one of the careers magazines. There wasn't no Facebook or anything at that point. This is going back sort of 14, 15 years ago. So it was one of those adverts, train to be a driving instructor in £35,000, be your own boss. So it kind of drew me into it. And yeah, that's what I sort of gave it a go. If I'm totally honest, I didn't have the best training experience. I'll probably go into that a little bit more maybe later on, but I suppose in a way, I suppose that made me want to become a trainer of driving instructors because I had a bad experience myself. It gave me the motivation to become a trainer of instructors so I could give them a better experience, I suppose. That, in a way, it kind of, I turned it into a positive. So, yeah, I've always liked coaching. I played football for many years. I eventually coached football. So, again, my coaching background started with football at grassroots. I was lucky enough to get involved with a local club who put me through my coaching badges.
Okay,
So I got up as far as my C license, FAWC license, which I was quite chuffed with. We did it down in Treforest in Cardiff, and we had our guest sort of footballer who came along on that day was Sol Campbell. So I got to meet him there. This was an experience. Didn't realise how big the guy was until I met him in person. So,
yeah, I mean, they're always big, aren't they?
Oh, massive. Yeah. Wouldn't argue with him, put it that way.
Yeah.
So yeah, I suppose I wanted to change the career really, something to get my teeth stuck into it and develop. So trying to be an ADI initially, as I said, didn't have the best experience, struggled to get through the qualifications. It took a lot of self-motivation to get me through it and sort of reflecting on bad experiences. And then eventually qualified as an ADI, worked for a few years as an ADI, and then decided to be an audit trainer so I could have a chance to give people a better experience trying to be driving.
Excellent, well done. So I mean, I think you just touched on it really, but you can expand on this really. Where did the coaching journey begin?
So as I was saying, I used to coach football. I was a driving instructor as well at the time, so I used to coach football in my spare time, and I enjoyed coaching, but I suppose I wasn't really enjoying instructing in my job as an ADI. So I had this thought of trying to sort of put coaching into my job as an ADI. And I suppose at the time as well, there was the DVSA decided to bring in the standards check. There were things sort of happening, and the buzzwords were coaching, client-centered. So I wanted to try and bring the coaching side into my teaching. So the coaching journey sort of began with football. And I wanted to sort of adapt those skills and diverse and put it into my everyday teaching. So I just needed to find a way to do that, really. But yeah, it gave me a background anyway into coaching.
Okay.
Although it was a different. Go on, sorry.
I was going to say, what you know, because I know a little bit about you, and you're talking about your coaching journey. What did you do to develop your coaching journey? as an instructor?
So I decided that around about the time that they were bringing in the new standards check at the time, going back, I think it's 4 or 5 years ago now, I decided to do a bit of research to see if I could find an organisation or a course really which I could do. So I'm big into my CPD. I've been for years, so I wanted to invest in a course which I could do to develop the coaching side of things. So I was researching on the internet, come across Tri Coaching Partnership, had a look on the website, liked what I saw, read a lot about the BTEC level 4 in coaching for driver behaviour, and after researching it a little bit more, there was an ADI which I know quite well, and he had done the course, or he was doing the course, and spoke to him, gave me good feedback about it, and decided to sign up. So yeah, did the BTEC level 4, really enjoyed doing it. It just so happens I did it in down in I think it was Newbury, down that way.
You did it in Taunton, I believe.
Taunton, that's
yeah.
it.
I believe you did it in Taunton.
That's it, Taunton, that's the one. And it was quite funny actually, because I went all the way down to Taunton with a fellow ADI who trained with me, and got to the classroom, and there was about 15 candidates, and about 10 of them were Welsh. They'd all come from like Swansea, and I knew most of them anyway, so we were actually all put in this classroom together, and it was pretty much all Welsh. That was quite amusing.
Yeah.
So yeah, we had some good banter, and yeah, I really enjoyed it. It was great.
It was interesting. I remember that course because it was interesting. We struggled to sell a course in Wales. Yeah, couldn't understand. We couldn't struggle to sell a course in Wales, so we put one on in Taunton and thought we'd get people from like Plymouth and Exeter come up to Taunton, and we'd get people maybe from Bristol come down, and then it was full of Welsh. Yeah, the Welsh come and invaded. Yeah, and we thought, oh, wonderful. Yeah, we got a great Welsh contingent. It had a very strong lilt to it, I would say, the course. But yeah, no, it was a great course. Good atmosphere on that course. Yeah, really enjoyed it. And so you did the BTEC level 4 professional awarding coaching for driver development. I know you went on and did the trainer course. That could have been in Newbury. I can't remember, but I'm not sure. But you know, we developed a product called Ticket, Try Coaching Instructor Training. And the reason I want to bring this in is because you were saying to me that when you were learning to be a driving instructor, you didn't enjoy your training. Mm-hmm. How does Ticket differ from that conventional training that you received?
Well, the Ticket course is totally different to the way I was trained, which is definitely a good thing. And I was trained with the old PSTs, so it was very sort of...
Pause. I'm sorry about this, everyone.
No worries. You have to bear with Graham. I think he's going to get his delivery of his vacuum, which I think he's very excited about. I'm not sure what he's been doing with his old one, to be honest, to blow it up, but that's another story. Don't tell him I said that, mate. Use this as a quick opportunity to have a drink.
I can hear you talking to yourself. I'm just going to reappear.
As if by magic.
You couldn't make it up, could you? I did say it might happen, but I blew my vacuum cleaner up a week or so ago, and I've just ordered another one, and it has to arrive now. But hey ho, it's here. I was asking you, how does Ticket differ from conventional training?
Yeah, so as I was saying, I was trained to the old PST styles, so it was very sort of instructor led. you must do this. Very instructor led, very test focused. You do this to pass the test. It was all they used to talk about was the test. There was no sort of looking at myself, the way I learned, or adapting to my learning style or anything like that. It was very rigid. It was at the time where the examiner did role play as well, so just not sort of not realistic at all, really. So what I like about the ticket course book is that it's more client centered. It focuses on the PDI themselves. It's well structured, easy to understand, professionally written, and it's structured in a way which it integrates all the parts of the training rather than focusing on one at a time. And what I really like about it is from the very start, it gets the PDI to have a good look at themselves, and how it strips them right back to look at themselves and actually how they learn again, because a lot of PDIs, like myself, haven't really sort of been in a learning environment since high school, really, and so it's a long time. So I really like the way it strips them back and it gets them to look at themselves and how they learn. So we're all different, we've got different learning styles, and I think if you discover your own first, then you're set up to go out and teach others and get the right coaching tools to be able to go out there and train your learners. So that's, I really like that part about it. I like the way it's set out with the emails that are sent out with the online part of the course. I like the way the in-car sessions are structured as well. They sort of all integrate into each other. But when you get when you start sort of after you've done the theory side as well, when you start getting stuck into like the driving and the part 3, I like the way that it brings a commentary driving into it, and you go away and get the PDI to practice their commentary driving. And when they get to the part 3 stage or further on down the in-car sessions, and they're in the passenger seat and doing their full talkthroughs, the light bulb moment comes on, and they kind of think, right, well, now I understand why I've been doing all this, and that's great. So that's really good. I like the way it's all put together.
Okay, yeah, that sounds good. I was going to ask you, what's the best thing about training instructors and PDIs? I mean, you just gave me a great explanation. Is there anything you want to add, about what's so good about training instructors or PDIs?
I mean, the best thing for me, I mean, I enjoy seeing them achieve their goals. It's probably the most rewarding part of my job, is to see somebody from the start working towards goals and then getting to the end and achieving those goals, qualifying as a driving instructor, and the look on their faces, and they're so happy, and they leave me a review on my Facebook page or website, and that makes me feel really good. And then they go on throughout their career and progress as well, and that's what it's all about, really, for me.
Okay, so how would you describe your training style? What would you do? How would you describe that best? I think
my training style, I like to come across as being quite open, so I like to be approachable, so people can ask me anything, really. Calm, relaxed, like to try and install positiveness into people, because a lot of people who come to me as learners and PDIs are very confidence issues. They're very nervous, maybe, so I like to try and work on that with them gradually. So I like to come across as someone who is approachable, but enthusiastic, positive. I like to try and install that into them as well, and hopefully they can take that away with them and throughout their career. Because I think you have to uplift a lot of people in this job, particularly in these current circumstances and what we're going to need to deal with when we finally get away from it as well. So.
Okay, I suppose just changing what things a little bit. What inspires you?
I mean, similar sort of things, really. Seeing other people achieve their goals, that inspires me. That inspires me to progress further with what I'm doing. It makes me feel like all the effort I'm putting in is coming together. Other people inspire me, like my mentors in this career, other ADIs, other ADI trainers, seeing what they're doing. That inspired me to push myself and raise the game as well. But I suppose in the current circumstances, it's made people look at things in a different light, and there's a lot of other people that inspire me as well. So I'm talking about people on the front line, the NHS, emergency services, things like that. I mean, there's a lot of people I never even thought of that would inspire me, which in these current circumstances do. So, yeah.
Definitely. Where would you like your career to be in 5 years from now?
Well, I've set myself a 10-year goal, so I'm working towards that currently by expanding my driving school. I've managed to expand the driving school over the last couple of years. So I've got 2 ADIs and 3 PDIs, and I'm bringing a couple of PDIs into the driving school once we get back up and running, fingers crossed.
Okay.
I've got a few PDIs in the pipeline as well who are in the process of training. So expanding my driving school is one of my main goals, really. As I said, I got a 10-year goal business-wise. Okay. So what I want to try to do eventually is get a number of ADIs working for me. So I'm aiming for about 30, so quite high within 10 years. So 5 years, and I'll be happy with 15.
Yeah.
And then beyond that, I'll be looking to maybe take a step back. Hopefully, I'll be 55 then. So I'm gonna try to sort of see if I can wind down a bit at that age. Maybe. Okay. Bring my nephews and stepson into the business, maybe, so I can take a step back a little bit and enjoy life a bit. But we'll see.
Okay, cool. Okay, so well, we talk about enjoying life. I mean, what do you like to do in your spare time?
As I was saying earlier, in my spare time, I'm quite into my walking. Big into my walking. Obviously, living in a place like this, it'd be silly not to. We've got some of the best sceneries and walks in the country. So I've climbed the Brecon Beacons a few times. I've done the local canal walk. So I do a lot of that. I say fitness is a big thing for me. So anyway, I can keep fit. It's been quite interesting actually over the last few weeks how people are that diverse with fitness. I'm a big gym goer. So, I mean, I go to the gym 5 days a week. I was going to the gym 5 days a week. So I wake up originally first thing in the morning, go to the gym, and then that sets me up for my day in work. Yeah. Obviously, all that's changed at the moment. It's been interesting to see how people diverse for that. So I myself have had to set up a mini home gym, shall we say. But it just consists of a few dumbbells in the corner of my office here and a static band. So I've had to sort of go on the internet, Facebook, YouTube, and do home workouts really. But I've been quite disciplined in that, and I've actually been quite surprised at what I've learned, what you can actually do yourself just with body weight and a static band. So you know, I've been quite impressed with myself.
They're bags that interest me. I ordered some bands on the internet, a mixed bag, you know, all different ones. It was supposed to arrive this week. I got an email last week telling me it will arrive in June, and I just got an email this morning that they're going to arrive in July. So I'm really going to be fit by the time these bands are on their way forever and ever, amen. So by the time I get them, I think I'd have lost the will to use the damn things. So yeah, I'm not ordering any more because in case I'm in the same, you know, next week delivery. Yeah, I don't think so. Okay. Do you read?
Yeah.
No, you can read.
Yeah, I mean,
good.
I could just about read. Yeah.
What was the last book you read then?
Well, I'm currently reading a couple of books. I'm studying at the moment. I'm studying for the level 4 diploma in education and training.
Oh, nice one.
Yeah, I'm doing that online. I've been doing it for the last sort of 6 weeks. I started it just before the lockdown. So I'm doing that at the moment. That's been an eye-opener, I can tell you. Getting back to actually studying sort of to like a university standard with all the Harvard referencing and all that sort of thing.
Oh God, yeah, I've done that. Yeah.
Tried my brain a few times over the last few weeks. What I've got left of it. So
Yes.
yeah, I mean, I've got that book, which I've been looking at. I won't hold it up because it'll go all blurry with the background.
Okay. What's it called? Tell me what it's called.
It's just called A Complete Guide to the Level 4 Diploma in Education and Training. It's by Murray and Richardson.
Okay.
Anne Gravel does a lot of stuff with that as well. It used to be the old kettles qualification.
Yeah.
One up on the petals. So the kettles, with this, hopefully, when I get through it, I'll be able to deliver what was the petals, which is level 3 now. So
okay. Yeah, I did. When I did mine, it was an advanced certificate of adult education, stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, which I think turned. I don't know, there was loads. It's rebranded so many times. I think that was petals, kettles, and dettles all rolled into one. Oh yeah, I've got it now. Yep.
Might be a bit blurry, but that's that one there. That's the main one I'm going for at the moment.
Okay.
I'm also revisiting. You won't pass it. I think it'll go blurry, but the practical teaching skills for driving instructors.
Okay. Yes. By Susan McCormack, Tri-Coaching Partnership. Yep. Good.
Yeah. Excuse the pun.
Yep.
But the main reason I'm revisiting that is because, as you know, I'm going to be delivering standard check workshop via Zoom in a couple of weeks.
Yeah. So looking forward to that.
Yeah, can't wait for that. So yeah, I've been having a good look at that. Particularly the model for risk management and goal setting.
Yeah.
Trying to know my stuff when I'm talking about it in front of a load of people.
That definitely will help. Okay, so I suppose along with reading, do you watch, films and TV? What's the best movie or the best box set you've watched in the last 12 months?
I've just got into Netflix, so I've been watching a couple of things on Netflix, just trying to think. I don't really spend a lot of time watching box sets or movies, but just trying to think, what did I watch recently? It was quite good. I watched Rocket Man.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
Rocket Man.
Yeah, that was all right.
Elton John, Bohemian Rhapsody, the Queen one.
Yeah,
that one. I thought I preferred that. I thought it was really good.
Yeah, no, I preferred Bohemian Rhapsody to the Elton John one, but the Elton John one was okay. Yeah. But I think I preferred Bohemian Rhapsody. Yeah, definitely.
But they were the films that I've watched. Trying to think of a series. I don't usually watch series. I want to. I want to watch the new one with the guy from The Office, Ricky Gervais.
Yeah. Afterlife.
That's it. Yes.
Yeah. I haven't watched the second one. The first one was funny. The second one's got mixed reviews. Okay, that's cool. So I suppose then, with that in mind, in like time and that, if you won a lottery, what would you do?
I suppose I'd like to try and keep working if I could. Depends how much I win, but I'd like to keep going, like work-wise, invest a lot into my business maybe. I can't see me being a type of person who could just go off on holiday and not do anything. I'd get bored pretty quick. So I'd like to try and think I would keep the business going and keep working. Sort my family out with some money, and I definitely invest them in charities and things like that. But yeah, spend a bit of time on a nice beach somewhere, I think.
Yeah, well, I think that's fair play. Spend a bit of time on a nice beach. It's good. So I mean, talking about spending a bit of time, I just can't help myself when people mention beaches. I just can't help myself. Hang on a sec. So I thought I'd just spend a bit of time on the beach while I'm here with you. So just because I can, really. So it's nice. It's nice here. Yeah.
Why not?
What are your lifelong dreams?
My lifelong dreams sort of fall into place, hopefully when I retire. or semi-retire in 10 years and I achieve my 10-year goal, fingers crossed. I'd like to travel the world and see a bit of the world. Fingers crossed things change a bit in 10 years, we'll see. But I think I'd like to buy a motorhome and go along with the wife and the dog and start off in Europe and see where we end up, really. I think
Nice one.
nice. Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. I suppose this is the big question. This is the big question I've had to ask everyone. Yeah, and I've had various answers to this. So this is the big one. How do you rate me as an interviewer?
Oh, pretty good, to be fair. Oh. Yeah, pretty good. Yeah.
Any comparisons?
I think Piers Morgan's got something to worry about anyway.
Oh, Piers Morgan, everyone hates him. Let's move on. Okay, I'll ask you another question then. Yeah, this is one. If you were an animal, which one would you want to be?
For me, that's quite easy. That's a dog. That's a pampered pooch. I've got one myself. He's got the life of Riley. And if I could be a dog and have half the life he has, I'd be very happy. So that's quite an easy one for me to answer.
Okay. Do you have any heroes in life? I mean, you touched on the NHS and that, but you know, any sort of personal heroes that you could draw upon in your life?
I mean, in that same sort of theme, the current situation, I would say Captain Tom Moore. He's been a hero, I think, for everybody in this current circumstance. I mean, it's that old saying, isn't it? Heroes don't always wear capes. And I think,
absolutely.
I think, you know, he has stood up to the mark and shown a lot of people what you can actually do in life. It doesn't matter how old you are. So he's my current hero, if I'm honest. A lot of people will probably say that, but that's something for me.
So I'm going to ask you, this is my last question. Yeah. So when we're talking about heroes, if you were to choose one superhero power, what would it be and why?
Okay. I think I'd pick time travel because, on a serious note, I think I'd like to go into the future and, with the current circumstances, see if I could find a cure, a vaccine for this horrible virus, come back, vaccinate everybody, or even go further back and try and prevent it from happening in the first place. But on more of a humorous note, I think I might want to go back into time and relive my youth a little bit. Fair
play. Okay, Richard, look, hey, thank you for joining me today for an interview with Richard Spiers. I'm just going to say goodbye, everyone, and it's goodbye from me, and it's goodbye from
me.
Yeah.
Him.
Cheers, Richard.
Cheers, Graham. Appreciate it.